how it would be if I talked with these shades. Oh, if I did my episode like this. Honestly, I feel like it would be a lot more easier versus me just like looking straight to the camera. But you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to the She's Next Level podcast. It's your girl, Dorsh. Today is such a special day for me because today is the day that I'm recording my very first episode into something that will be a dream career for me. Podcasting has been something that I've been wanting to do for such a long time, and I'm really excited to see where this journey is going to take me. And obviously, like making it a career, monetizing it somehow, but my intention is really to just share more of myself, really put myself out there, like fully, vulnerably, authentically, and share my lives and experiences with you guys. Like, I have a lot to unpack here. And as I continue to keep learning and learning every day. Today's episode is very special, near and dear to me, because this has been something that's been the bane, the MF, because we're on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna do my best not to curse, but if you're listening from Apple, then amazing. But today, or Apple or Spotify, but today has been something that's been that I want to talk about, that's been the bane of my existence, that I was actually unaware of. And it wasn't until a couple of months ago where I realized what this thing was, what this emotional root cause disconnect thingy was. And I was like, my world started to finally make sense. The way I've been behaving and operating in this world started to make sense. And it really unlocked like this new level of like existence, but also purpose for me. It's like Darsh 2.0 now. Like, it's just next level. I feel like I've found myself again and I'm going through like a rebirth in the best way. I mean, life is just, it's in seasons, right? It's just beautiful, like with every up and down, with every left and right. But anyways, I have my phone here with me, by the way, because I want to make sure we talk about everything. Don't want to miss anything out. And anyways, okay. So the inspiration for this podcast episode was actually from a conversation that I had with a friend the other day. And I was just like venting to her because I was like, this thing keeps popping up in my life and I'm sick and tired of it. And I want to do something about it. And I'm just like, done. Like, we need to fix this. And obviously, there's a lesson in like, I was just being emotional, but like, I'm here to heal. I'm not here to fix myself. Like, I'm here to just like remember and let myself be myself and more of myself, if that makes sense. But, anyways, because this is like a lesson that I feel like my soul came down here on earth to like master and learn this lesson. And it's like, it's always like that one thing in your life. Let me know if you can relate to this. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, if you can relate to this, if like it's always that one little thing, that one feeling, that one thing that keeps showing up in your face, the one thing that keeps showing up, and you're just like, I'm sick and tired of it. It's honestly, so on a balanced, high conscious level, it's actually a good thing because your soul wants to master it, but it's also like, okay, we're ready to like be done with this and do something about it. So anyways, I walked out of that conversation feeling so seen, so heard, and really helped my brain just process this on a deeper level, because I do feel like this topic can be discussed and understood in deeper levels. Like, I feel like there's a lot more layers to this. And I walked away with like a whole new perspective, multiple perspectives actually, that really helped me understand this on a deeper level. So, drum roll, please. We are going to talk all about worthiness. When I think of worthiness, like in the beginning, I was like, what? What does that mean? Like, do you feel that way? Like, do you feel like when you think about worthiness or you talk about worthiness, like what I want to know in the YouTube comments, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about worthiness? Like, and don't lie to yourself. Like, I want to know what's the first thing that comes up because for me, it felt very taboo. I was like, I don't think I feel it. Like, it was kind of like the first time where I was like, what? Make it make sense. So, I don't feel like there's a lot of people talking about this topic on a deeper level in the way that I feel like there should be because this is so foundational. I feel like this topic is literally like the foundations of living your life, especially if you're someone that wants to live your best life. Welcome to my world. And you're ambitious. Welcome to my world. And you want to literally be the creator of your life. Like you really want to experience the best of the best that life has to offer and really live it fully. Welcome to my world. So you guys have to watch the video version of the podcast if you can, because I'm cracking myself up here, like watching myself and what I'm doing. What I kind of want to share with you guys today is some of those new perspectives and a bit about my story. Honestly, like I'm about to get vulnerable with you guys. Okay. So if you don't know me, amazing, because you're getting to know me. But if you do know me, like, yeah, it's about to get real and raw. And it is scary for me. Like, I'm not going to lie. But it's also exciting because I've been wanting to share my life with everybody, like, which is why I started this in the first place, because I feel like I've really lived life through experiences and that's how I learn. And I've lived through so much. I mean, if you didn't listen to my story episode, listen to that first because it's going to give you some context. A couple of months ago, I didn't realize that I had a case of not feeling worthy. And it was a lot deeper than I thought. And we're going to get into that. I had a pull to start working on my self image last year. And I felt drawn to that because all around in the manifestation community, if you're into like, creating the dream life and like manifestation, then you know that everything is based around what you believe. It's your identity, right? It's what you believe to be true and how you feel. But it's more on an identity level, if that makes sense. So my mentor, she had like this program and I joined, and it's been an amazing journey, honestly, ever since. And I got to learn more about myself in that journey helped me realize how much I actually didn't love myself in the way that I thought I did, but also in how much I didn't trust myself the way that I thought I did. And so that has also been like a reoccurring thing in my life too. Like I do, but I also didn't. And that trust, what I mean by trust is like the trust with my spirit, like my soul, my higher self, like whoever you want to call it. Like technically God is who, like a part of you, like who you are, and that's what I believe. But like that inner guidance, I wasn't trusting that. And so I remember like I used to be the type of girl that would go get tarot readings, and like when I wasn't clear about life and didn't have any clarity, I was like all up in my head as the air sign that I am. If you're an Aquarius or any other air signs, I'm sure you can relate. I was like going outside of me to get answers. So I started training my intuition with the mentor that I learned self image from. So apparently there's a way that you can train it and learn it, because everyone has intuition. They have their own internal guidance system. But the more that you use it, the more that you're going to be able to trust it and listen to it and like be able to hack the system. Like I truly do feel like that's how you hack the system in life. Like there's the answers are always within you. But the journey of life is that trust, right? That we're building. I'm in the training and I'm still in it. Honestly, I'm halfway through. It's like a very extensive program, but I met some amazing, intuitives in the program, and we were like practicing reads with each other. And the one thing that kept coming up in my freaking reads was this thing of like me not feeling worthy. I feel like to keep things simple, I am going to talk about one of the main two ways where this can be sneaky and like show up in the way that you feel that we may not be aware of. And I want you to let me know in the comments below too, like if you're watching on YouTube, like which one it is for you. And or if you feel worthy, like I want to know like what you did. Cause girl, I'm over here and you can help everybody else too. Two ways that I realized and the ways that this can show up is you can feel unworthy because of the way that you grew up. And maybe, you know, your family didn't have a lot of resources to give you the things that you wanted as a kid. And you just felt like you didn't have enough and you didn't have what the other cool kids had. And that can, and then your family can then ultimately end up living in a scarcity mentality. And so that's one way. I feel like it's very common too, like of the world. And like that's one way where this can show up for you, even if you feel like you've done all the freaking inner work. Because trust me, girl, I've been doing this inner work for like over 9 years now. I can't even count how long it's been at this point. And I was not aware of this at all. Like, I've healed some money beliefs that I've had. I'm definitely better with money. But this is like that core thing. If you're able to shift this, it can move the needle for a lot of things in your life. I truly believe that. So the other thing is it's the opposite, right? So like maybe you feel like you've had it easy for you in life, you know, like you've had everything so easily and like you came from a family of privilege and like you have all the money and like all the things going on for you. You can feel unworthy because you feel guilty of having those things. Because when you look around in the world and you're seeing like, oh, like, but I don't see these people having that, and like makes me feel bad because like I'm talking about like how good I have it. And I mean, it's sneaky, okay? It's sneaky. So honestly, and I'm going to keep it real with you guys, I feel like for me, it's been a bit of both. It's important to be able to get down to like the root cause of unworthiness because that looks different for everybody. So that may look different for you, but I'm going to share like what that looks like for me and what I'm currently working through and healing and shifting. For me, the deeper feeling of unworthiness is tied around me not feeling good enough. And this goes, when I realize this goes way back to my childhood. I feel like a lot of our things are like, they go back to our childhoods because like that never changes. Like we grew, but that was always there until we addressed it. You know what I mean? Like the inner child stuff. I mean, and I wasn't aware because growing up as a kid, I mean, I was a free spirit, y'all. Like I was a free spirit rebel all the way, did what I wanted to do. But there was a lot to the other side of that of like, it subconsciously, I wasn't aware of why I was doing those things, like why I was such a rebel or like the way that I coped with things. But I grew up in a South Asian household, okay? And if you're Indian, then girl, you know, I know you can relate. But I mean, Asian households in general, the importance of like being a good kid and the only way that I received attention was either getting good grades or doing what my parents wanted me to do. And I wasn't doing either of those things. I did not care about school. I felt like school was so boring. I knew deep down, I was like, I can't wait for this to be over. And all I wanted to do was just like hang out with my friends and play with my friends and like socializing. And yeah, like I don't know why, but I feel like after second grade, shit got serious in school. I was like, what happened to playtime? Like, what happened to like all the fun things that we did in kindergarten and first grade? And all we did was like have fun and play. And like, it was just fun. I feel like school was fun for me until then, but I digress. The other thing was like my parents were always working too. So I feel like there was a lot of feeling of loneliness for me. Like I would remember just like eating by myself a lot. And that was just like became like a normal thing for us, like even up until like high school days. But as a kid, like, you're sensitive, like, you want to be around your caretakers and you want to feel attention, feel loved, and all of those things. Like, I remember, like, my first heartbreak that I had. I remember, like, not being able to feel safe and comfortable enough to go to my parents about it because, like, first of all, they didn't want me around boys anyways, but, like, just not feeling safe and comfortable to talk about it. And so, like, I would just cry alone by myself, and, like, I would, process it myself, but I really process it? Cause, like, like, I just, yeah, it was just very lonely. Very lonely. Yeah. And, like, even in school, like, I didn't feel like I was popular. Although I wanted to be popular, best believe, I would always look at the popular kids and I was like, damn, like, why not me? um, I mean, I was known, but, like, I wasn't, like, popular. And that didn't feel enough. It was just, like, this feeling of, like, not enoughness that kept coming up. And I know it, like, obviously came from family because it's like we weren't poor, but it's like my parents still felt like it wasn't enough. They didn't have enough and that they needed to work hard. They needed to earn what they wanted to have. There were other aspects and conversations in the household where it's like, you're just not destined because of religion or whatever. That's for them, but not us type of conversations in the house. It's very limiting at the end of the day. So all of that obviously, like, can impact you as a kid growing up in the way that you think, because especially as a kid, your subconscious mind is just like taking everything in, it's soaking everything in. Like, because of all of that, I ended up becoming a hustler. Like, I started working when I was 15 and a half years old because that was the only age that I was allowed, the youngest that I was allowed to work. And I was working at, if you live in California, I don't know if you know about Paramount's Great America in Santa Clara, but I was working there in the theme park, and it was so fun. But, like, I remember the moment I started working, I was like, wow, like, this, like, money, I basically equated money to freedom because I was finally able to give myself the things that I wanted to do. I didn't need to go to my parents and keep getting rejected majority of the time. That's why I was also, like, focused on just, like, working my ass off and, like, achieving all of these things in my life and the businesses that I've had, and, like, seeking recognition and validation. And I thought that, like, money made like, meant something about me and how much money I had, how many accomplishments I've had. Oh, because I was worthy, finally worthy, because of all the things that I have done, because I didn't feel like I've done enough as a kid to make me finally feel good enough to be worthy of receiving love or receiving recognition or receiving whatever I like, anything, what I want, what I desire, None of that was going to be enough to sustain me, honestly. Like, I could be doing the most. And it's like what my friend said the other day, where it's like, less doesn't mean less and more doesn't mean more. You know what I mean? Like input does not equal output. And that's how my brain was, like, wired. And it's still something I'm working on, of, like, what I do doesn't equate to, like, what I'll receive, what I'll have. It's not about how much I can do, because I can always do more. Especially when you're an entrepreneur, you can always do more, but it's not about that. It's about you feeling like you've done enough because you are enough. Like, all of you. For me, I want to make healing fun. I want to make it feel lighthearted, and I want it to feel good in the process, because it doesn't have to feel so heavy. But I am very, like, understanding and compassionate for the people where this may be something that resonates with you, and where you may be aware now just from watching this video, or if you're listening on the podcast, of, like, wow, maybe I've been feeling this way too. Like, don't ignore it, acknowledge it. Like, awareness is key, because if you don't do anything about it, it's just never going to go away. Like, it's still going to be there. You can't get rid of it until you address it. So I just want to say, like, now I am on a mission, honey. Okay? A mission. I'm just really dedicated to, like, rewiring the belief that I've had for years that my worth is tied to the amount of effort that I put in, or I'm only worthy if I do things for people, or that I've had to earn my worth. I think that's like the biggest mind fuck of all. And none of that is true. Think about your favorite people. Think about people that you love, okay? Do you just love them for who they are, and like you just love being around them, like it doesn't matter what they do, you just love being around them? Or do you love them for what they do for you, what they do for a living, or like all of that? And I don't know about you, but for me, when I really sat with this and I stopped pedestalizing, is that how you say the word? Depedestalizing people, because that's what happens when you don't feel good enough, because you put somebody on a pedestal because of what they have or what they've done or the people that they know, but they're just human, just like you. Like, they're just as unique and special as you are. You're just not seeing it. And your mission is so different from them. I'm going to be talking about comparison in another episode soon, because that was a big thing that came up for me too. But I don't want to make this episode like 20,000 hours long. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. And wait, before I get into these gems that I have for you, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment. I want you to share anything that you took away from this video. So these are the things. These are based on like the most basic reprogramming principles. Like, I've been the type of person before where the details matter. I felt like the information wasn't enough, right? It's like still coming from the not enough wound. And I was just like, no, I got to do this and this and this to get this result and whatever. And then it wasn't until I realized I felt overwhelmed with all these like tools, all these subconscious reprogramming tools, where I was like, they're great, but I don't need to use all of them all the time. Like, what if I can just find a simple way to integrate them, especially when it comes to rewiring, without having to do so much? And then I can pick and choose what I want, but I'll have like a foundational thing that I can do. So this is what I'm doing. It may or may not work for you. And I've always encouraged people, like, play around with it. You know, what works for me may not work for you, or maybe it will, but you are the creator, baby. Like, you are the one that creates your life in the way that you want to, and uses the tools in a way that resonates with you. So my favorite way currently is simply just setting the intention in the morning. And if y'all are not aware, like, setting the intention is very, very powerful, because that's what we're doing every single day, whether we're conscious of it or not. And it's really your ability to guide your energy and focus into what you want your brain to focus on, like, throughout the day. In science, it's called like the reticular activating system. So it's simply just setting the intention, like, really just sit with yourself and set the intention of like all the ways in where you want to prove to yourself all day of how you're more than enough. Therefore, everything that you've done is more than enough, and how you always have enough. And I really like this statement and like this way of programming specifically. Like, this is mine and this is how I'm doing it, but I like it because it tackles like all three things, especially if this is something that you're also struggling with when it comes to worthiness and like feeling good enough. It's like, I've done enough. I am enough already. Therefore, like, everything I've done is enough, whether I've done something or not. And I always have enough, because we're reprogramming into the abundance mindset. So I want to share some examples of like how I'm noticing and like clocking these moments for myself throughout the day. And I like to do it throughout the day. Like, I do it in the morning intentionally, but then I also like do it throughout the day, because I want to integrate these tools like into my lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to think about it or like make it like this like journal prompt that I'm going through every day. Like, that's not fun. So I'm just being aware, if anything, of like paying attention to noticing all the ways that this shows up for me. So the other day, I went to Sweet Green and I wanted a yummy salad, ended up at the cash register, and it was the first time that I got a Sweet Green salad for free. Like, it was the first time I've got any, well, I've gotten a lot of free things. Like, we love free things, but like at Sweetgreen, I was like, huh, interesting. I'm open to receiving, baby. So, um, I mean, I didn't do anything to receive it though. So that's proof of how I'm more than enough. And I've done more than enough just by being there. Um, Another thing was how my mom paid for my Uber for the airport. So when I was flying to LA, she just offered it to me. She was supposed to drop me off, but then she was like, I don't feel like it. I'm going to pay for your Uber though. I got you. And I was like, okay, she's never paid for my Uber, guys. That was a big surprise for me. But I was like, I didn't do anything to receive that. And yes, that's my mom, but the point is, I didn't do anything to receive that. And that was abundance too. And that was, I didn't do anything. So that's another proof that you can, like, to like help you guys find proof for yourself. Another one was, how a lot of my friends do this, but they tell me how funny I am to some of the things I say. They're just like, what? Sometimes like I crack myself up a lot too. I'm like, damn, that was really funny. But I didn't do anything to receive that compliment. I was just being myself, and that was enough. That was enough to make someone laugh, to make someone feel good, to make a difference. So yeah, like that's another way that you can, prove to yourself and just like really implement this belief and reprogramming this new belief for yourself. And then as for the always like having enough, that's really helping with the abundance mindset. And so something that I've been doing to help with that is like, I'm noticing like every time I purchase anything, whether it's a cup of decaf coffee because your girl can't do regular coffee anymore, or groceries, or even like investing myself into like a course, I am noticing like, how is this purchase leading me to more financial abundance? Because it is like you investing in yourself, first of all, in your energy. It's going to help you feel better. Like for example, like today I went to get some like decaf coffee just because I didn't need to, but just because. And it made me feel good. Like it made me feel more, like it made me feel nourished, and I enjoyed it. And here I am, like showing up to record a podcast episode for you guys. And this is going to lead me to even more abundance because my energy is going to attract the right people in my community. And you just have to like follow the vein of the thing and how it makes a long ripple effect in just one little thing that you do. So that is a game changer. And when it comes to rewiring, guys, like repetition is key. Like, you got to be able to do this. I'm doing it every single day. So if y'all want to join me, we can do it together, which would be fun. I'd love to do it together. Let me know if you want to like join me on this. I mean, I'm doing it until it becomes non-declarative. And what that means is that it's just the way I automatically think, behave, react. Like I'm not thinking about it consciously, especially when I'm having moments of receiving or in anything that I'm doing and how I'm feeling. Okay, I feel like we talked about a lot here. And if any of this resonated with you guys, I do post on my Instagram stories. And I want you guys to either leave me a comment on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, send me a DM on Instagram. Like, let me know how this episode resonated with you. And if you do decide to join me along, like the shifts, you don't have to wait such a long time to feel the shifts. Like I've been actually feeling the shifts every day because I'm doing this. And even if they're like tiny, tiny shifts that I'm feeling, I'm actually like noticing them and feeling them. And I'm also catching myself when I'm not. Like I'm catching myself when those other thoughts try to trickle in, those little creepsters. And I'm like, hold on, girl. Not here. We're not doing that no more. And it's just going to get easier like as you do it. Everything, all the info of my Instagram and all my socials, like it's going to be in the description box below. And thank you so much for tuning in. I will be posting episodes every Thursday. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.